Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy IamTigax here, the guy that's always calling Mercy Mama. For that being said and everything like that, today's video is just basically going to be covering over three topics right now. First thing is going to be something relatively small, pertaining to Overwatch 2 being a multiplayer game of the year. Second thing we're going to be moving into is the So everyone, as I said, we are going to be going over the very first part, which pertains to Overwatch 2 being nominated for one of the best multiplayer games of the year by the Game Awards. For those of you who may not be following their page right now, I would say highly suggest you go over there and follow them. They're a great page to follow, lots of news pertaining around the gaming industry as a whole, and they deserve an awesome follow because of the content they put out. But as I was saying, so for you can see that right now, basically, as I said, the few games that are nominated for the multiplayer game of the year, you do have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Mortal vs. Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and lastly, TMNT's Shadow's Revenge. I do apologize for my tone and me mispronouncing these words. I'm still not feeling the best upon the weather right now, so I do apologize about that. But guys, just give my quick thoughts about it. Do I think Overwatch 2 deserves multiplayer award of the year? The reason why I say no is because of the simple fact that there is still a lot of major problems going on with the game itself that just needs to be addressed. Some of the things I'm going to be addressing in this video. And the biggest thing you guys know are about the monetization and everything going on with the shop. But with that being said, for those of you who do want to go and check out how to vote, as I said, just visit the Game Awards. They probably do have this pin at the top of your screen. Or just check out Overwatch, because Overwatch did retweet it, and it was like earlier today. I want to say about 12:30 or so around Eastern Standard Time. So, but if you want to go check this out, all you have to do is just, like I said, go check out the Game Awards page. Click on their link right now where it says Vote Now, and then it has a hyperlink right there highlighted in blue. Check them out. And as I said, guys, if you feel like Overwatch 2 deserves multiplayer game of the year, then please go and vote for the game. You do have other choices as well, including Splatoon 3, Multiverses, Modern Warfare 2, and TMNT Shredder's Revenge. So everyone, in regards to the patch notes that are going to be coming out for tomorrow, by the time this video goes out, or it'd be on November the 15th, by the time those patch notes come out, basically everything that's going to be going on for Overwatch 2 is some of the main things you've heard me talk about on stream, as well as some of the things that when I noticed. The biggest thing probably comes to the nerfs that are going to be going to Zarya, Genji, Sombra, and D.Va. Break those down a little bit. Basically, what's going to be going on with Zarya is overall nerfs to her bubbles. For those of you who don't know, Zarya has been very, very, not OP, but just been very oppressive with her stature inside of the competitive format right now. She's probably the best tank in the game, in my opinion. Probably second to D.Va, and then Sigma and everything. But her bubbles are going to be getting nerfed, and I think along with the duration and the cooldown or something like that. Moving on with D.Va, D.Va is basically going to be getting some tweaks to her defense matrix. Basically, you know, the biggest thing about D.Va was the fact that her defense matrix was a little too good, if that makes sense, in the durability, not durability, but the duration of it lasting and everything as well. So they're trying to tone that down. As far as it goes with Genji, Genji is basically going to be getting a nerf to his ammo clip along with his damage output. Again, I highly recommend you going to go check out these articles, whether it's by you'll probably have to wait till tomorrow for Overwatch 2 to actually post them on the website for Blizzard, but you can head over to Dextro. I probably am mispronouncing that. I do apologize, but you can probably head over there, or I'm pretty sure IGN. If I scroll up a little bit more, yeah, IGN does have them as well. Most of the time when it comes to getting my information, I either head over to Dextria or I'm on the Overwatch patch notes itself and stuff like that. But as I was saying, Genji is going to be getting nerfed when it comes to his ammo clip and overall damage with the shurikens. I don't think it's going to make Genji fall too far off. You know, if you're a reliable player, you know, who mains Genji or has good practice with him, you're still going to get value out of him. The biggest thing you're probably going to notice is the fact that his ultimate is going to be doing. His ultimate is going to take a little bit longer to charge up, if that makes sense. So compared to other heroes like Sojourn and some others that can, you know, actually get in there and get the kill, not to mention charge the ult a little bit faster, you're going to know that big difference. As I said, you know, if you're someone who has good hands with Genji and able to get value out of him no matter what, you know, he's not going to completely fall out the map. It's not like he's going to be buried into the ground after this patch and everything like that, but you will see the difference. I believe next up on the list that I haven't mentioned yet is Sombra. Sombra, the whole thing about Sombra right now is just basically she's more oppressive in a way like Zarya is, but the problem with Sombra is that there's really no good way to counter her. I mean, the whole entire team would have to focus her down just to even try to not neglect, but mitigate her. I guess you could say her outcome on the game and everything like that. Because basically, whenever Sombra hacks you, that's a 40% damage output applied onto you. Under the current meta, where you have a Zen Discord orb being on top of you, that's 50% right there, extra damage. Not to mention, if you get hacked, you just basically got melted. And that's one of the problems with Summer. Her basically, her spread of her gun, being able to stay invisible even after you get hacked and everything like that. And not to mention the hack duration, it was just very, very, it was a pain in the ass, if I'm just being very blunt about it. So there is that. So, as I said, those heroes are going to be basically receiving a nerf. I'm not really too sure about the Doomfist buffs. We haven't really got too much information about that, even in the articles that I checked out so far. What a lot of people are basically trying to say is that they may be reworking the Doomfist a little bit more when it comes to his abilities and his overall damage output. One of the biggest things I would love to actually see is them coming back with basically with almost his old kit, but maybe in some way allowing him to keep the damage blocker that he does with the fist and everything like that. But as I said, guys, those are going to be the main deets in that situation. The one last thing that I should point out is the fact that May will be making her return tomorrow. Again, for those of you who don't know, basically there was a bug, or I guess I should say glitch, with May's ice wall that came from. I do apologize about that. There's a ice wall glitch that came with Kiriko's ult. So basically, you was able to get into certain places with those heroes that you normally aren't able to, because of how Kiriko's ult works. Being able to increase the cooldowns on your abilities and stuff like that. So that being fixed, they are bringing Mei back into the game, which I'm kind of excited for. Mei's that one hero I like to play on defense on certain maps like Hollywood and Route 66. Like I said, especially on defense with the 250 health, able to headshot with the icicles and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to bringing her back in the game tomorrow. But with that being said, guys, that does cover the new patch notes that are going to be coming out tomorrow. I want to say it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my time zone for the update to be rolling out. And one last thing to key note is that if you are playing on console, you're probably going to notice that the gigabyte, the overall data for the patch notes are going to be a little bit more for us. And the reason why is because how PC and console works. PC doesn't have to download the same files again. All they have to do is basically update the files just within that game itself. While on console basically has to re-download the whole entire file in that particular manner and stuff like that. So that's why you'll probably notice that console has a bigger download than PC does. But with that being said, guys, we are going to be heading into the last thing that I wanted to mention, which is the Overwatch system, talking about ranked mode specifically broken. Alright, everyone, so this is the last part of the video that I want to specifically take some time on to talk about. Maybe the next 35 minutes is basically going over the rank system inside of Overwatch 2 right now. The biggest controversy going over the rank system is just the simple fact of the matter of that it seems like people aren't getting rewarded based on their play when it comes to the Overwatch rank system. Now, when comparing, and I'll refer to the article that you see on the screen up here in a sec. But when it comes to referring to the experience that I've had with Overwatch and Overwatch 2 regarding to the rank system, at first I was, kind of for the Overwatch 2 system, how it works with, you basically either, getting your skill rating getting adjusted either after 7 wins or every 20 losses. But considering how a player like me, obviously I'm not going to win 21 games in a row. I'm not that good. I like to consider myself a decent to above average player, but I don't think I'm like a great or anything like that, or one of the best, top 500 in that category. I trust me, I know my place. But it just seems like the old system was more accurate in terms of SR and actually where I was being placed at. Because for those of you who don't know, I basically was able to get gold on all 3 roles on Overwatch 2 within the last week. But when I spent last Thursday night, which would be on the 7th, no, not the 7th, it would be probably on the 8th or 9th. I can't remember exactly. But when I was just playing that night, when I have it on stream, I basically won my 7 games. I think I went 7-4 that night. Obviously, that's not 100% win rate, but that is above 500, which I'm proud to say that I can, most of my games aren't, below 500. Like I said, 7-4. That's 11 games total. Again, 7 wins out of the 4. That's pretty good. I want to say that's about .650 win percentage. Like I said, it's better than 0.500, basically going even. But after all that was done, I basically got demoted. I won my 7 games, thinking I was going to get promoted to platinum, basically based on how my play is. Again, I know I'm not saying I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm not saying I'm even particularly great at Overwatch, but I do feel like I was good enough to be placed back to where I was on Overwatch 1, which was in platinum. But for some reason, in regards to my situation when it came to Overwatch 2 and the place finishing my 7 wins, as I said in that stream, the previous on the Thursday night, 4 to 5 days ago, I basically, or it might have been 6. I do apologize, but I basically got demoted down to silver again, which kind of irked me a little bit, because I'm just sitting here like saying, how did I get demoted after I pretty much did a good job, when it comes to I felt like I did a good job when it came to wins, and as I said, my wins were above 500. I'm not saying I have to be the best player in the world or anything like that, but I felt like I did pretty good myself when in that regard, having above 500 record, and on top of that, with my play and stuff. But my biggest evidence in regards to the Overwatch system being broken, and it's not something that I'm trying to prove. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Overwatch players out there that feel the same way. But this article. So, guys, I saw this article. I want to say it was either the next day after I got done with the stream, or it might have been the day after that. But I saw this article, and it's just like, I sit there and I said, you know what? This immediately proves what I was talking about. And the reason why I said it's because of the simple fact of the matter is that, for those of you who don't know, to give you the basic breakdown for this news that broke out, was that you had an Overwatch 2 player gets deranked. I believe he got deranked down to I want to say it was either silver or gold after winning 21 consecutive matches, guys. Imagine winning 21 consecutive matches. I think the most I've ever won in a row on Overwatch was 7 or 8. That was on a lucky night. Most of the time, I'm going 7-4 or 3-3 or whatever the case may be. But this Overwatch 2 player won 21 games in a row, only to get demoted from Diamond. I think it was Diamond 2 down to either silver or gold, as I said. That, to me, in my situation, I'm upset about it. But to me, if that was me, if I was that particular Overwatch 2 player, I would be outbursting right now. I would be basically DMing Blizzard every single free time that I had trying to get my rank back, because that's just totally unfair. And that's what I'm saying, guys. This is just another bit of evidence that I want to point out in regards to saying that damn Overwatch 2 system is just broken. And I'm not saying the original ranking system they had was any better, but to me it gave a more accurate feel of where you were exactly. Every match seemed like it counted in regards to you climbing or losing and stuff like that. The way they had to set up the SR, you losing more SR than you normally would gain. So like I said, each one would count. And then when you finally got promoted, when you finally got out of that hole that you were stuck in, whether you were stuck in bronze, silver, gold, whatever the case may be, it felt rewarding to finally make it to that next tier, and it felt like you actually had to belong there. You actually had to play good. But with this being said, guys, this article, my personal experience, and then on top of that, I wasn't able to find it, but apparently there was another article that broke out where the guy was basically talking to some of his teammates inside of the match. One of them was Masters, the other one was Diamond, but I believe they had a bronze support and a silver DPS. With that being said, you can see how, it's kind of all over the place. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. If you're grouped up with something like that, then I can understand. But from what I was gathered from this article, they basically were all solo queen for the most part. And the fact that the ranking system matched these players up against each other, I mean, I'm not just sure what exactly the enemy team had put together, but the fact that you have a Masters player, I mean, not Masters, but Diamond player playing with the low bronze just speaks high volumes. That's a big difference in SR rating right there when you actually look at the numbers. Because when you talk about bronze is down in 100s up to 1,000, and you're talking about Diamond, that's 2,000 SR. That's a 2,000 SR difference, which is beyond me somehow. And then lastly, guys, I did want to head over to the forums and everything like that. And the reason why I said this is because of the simple fact of the matter to this, which is the fact that there have been countless articles, and I want you guys to pay attention to the time zone, right? I try to check this out whenever I can, whether it might be every other day or so. But I'm telling you, the other night when I first had an issue, then the article came out. The article came out right after that, the day after, or 2 days when I had my own personal experience. It just got ridiculous, and as you can see, As you can see, this is the article that I was referring to, or this forum. I do apologize. This forum is talking about the article that I was just telling you guys about, where the guy had went on a 21 win streak and then finally lost after that 21 wins, only to get demoted. And then, as I said, he's referring to the article that I told you guys about. Then he's talking about his own personal experience, and then it goes from there. Basically, everyone starts pitching in about their excuse me, sorry, I was trying to clear my throat. But then you basically have everyone talking about their experience. Again, there are certain players out there saying, "Hey, this Overwatch 2 system is great. I love it. It's more accurate when it comes to terms of placing me, or whatever the case may be." Which I'm not saying I don't have anything against that, but when you first get placed, in regards to me, when you first get placed is different than climbing. And the reason why I said this is because when you get placed, the game is pretty good at judging where you are basically. But when it comes to climbing, there's a whole bunch of factors where there's in regards to teammates. If you're having a diamond teammate on your team and the enemy teams, let's just say, have a whole bunch of gold and platinum together, that one diamond player still don't want to make a difference, stuff like that. But my overall point, and I know I'm not going in, me not going into details about this, kind of leaves you guys in the murky water in regards to what I'm trying to defend. But it's hard. I'm not saying the system doesn't place you where you belong, but it's what I'm trying to say is when you climb. I'm not saying 7 games is going to be a major difference in your ranking and stuff like that. But if you let's say for me, right, I got placed in silver when I first did my placements, or when I did my first 7 games. I then grinded. When one night I grinded a 7 game total win to get promoted in the gold. I'm talking about my support role specifically, and I'm about to wrap this video up. I know I'm going over the limit, but the fact that I climbed from silver all the way up to gold too, I want to say it was, just to get knocked back down again to silver, it's kind of disappointing. And the reason why I said this is because if I am only good enough to be in silver, I should have never got promoted in the first place. If you guys get what I'm saying. And as I said, when it comes to my win total, again, I went 7-4 that night, which is a win percentage over 500. And I said, like I said, my play wasn't that bad. It's not like I went negative and kill KD ratio or my heals was low. And like I said, the numbers don't even really matter. There's a whole different bunch of factors into it. But that being said, guys, just give me your thoughts on everything that I went over regarding to whether you think Overwatch 2 deserves to be Game of the Year, multiplayer Game of the Year, my bad. And what are your thoughts about when it comes to the new patch notes regarding the nerfs to Zarya, Sombra, the buffs to Doomfist, and of course May making her return to the game. And last but not least, what do you guys think about the Overwatch 2 rank system? Do you love it? What are your thoughts about it? Until next time, I'm your boy IamTigax, signing off. Peace.